We just got back from our second flight with our now 4-month-old daughter. Her first flight was at 2 months, so we just wanted to share a little bit about what we've learned between the two flights and what we've learned as she gets older and needs some more entertainment on the flight.
So far we've kept our flights to 2 and 3 hour flights. They have both gone very, very well. Some of the things that we have learned that have helped a lot is feeding during takeoff. That has helped with her ears popping, so there's really been no crying or anything on takeoff or landing. We have either fed or used a pacifier, and then once we're in the air, she has done a good job at trying to sleep, or now that she is older, we have found little spinning toys and the crinkly ball, and just little things to help her get through the flight.
So for our first flight, we decided to try and check both our stroller and our car seat. We thought that it might be easier and then we would have less stuff to go through the airport. When we checked in with Frontier, we were easily able to check the car seat, but they said that they don't typically check strollers at check-in, but he let us do it anyways, which was really nice. So it was nice to walk through the airport without the stroller and not have to deal with that, but our stroller did suffer a little bit of damage because of being checked. So on our second flight, we decided to bring our stroller through the airport both ways. We ended up buying a new stroller that was better for travel anyways and a little bit more compact. And it has its own travel bag that we ordered so that we would keep it safe even when it was gate checked. We wanted to make sure we were maximizing the longevity of the stroller because it was a hefty investment.
Travel bags for both the stroller and the car seat are extra, but I would highly recommend purchasing the ones that go with your specific product, because it just fits a lot better and is a lot easier to carry than some just bulky bag. So we have the Nuna car seat and got the backpack bag, which is very easy for me to carry through the airport. It's also padded, so then the car seat stays safe when it is checked. And then the Bugaboo stroller that we bought the bag, which is universal for most Bugaboo strollers, and it's very nice because it actually has wheels on it.
Yeah, so it's really easy. This last time we got in at 11 p.m. and we were just ready to get home, so we just left it in the travel bag and just rolled it through the airport, and it rolled really well and it was really easy. One of the best things that we have that we bring with us every time is a fabric carrier for her. On our trip to Tampa, we just brought the more structured carrier and it was great, but it's a little bit harder for her to sleep in that one. This time we brought the actual fabric wrap carrier and we really enjoyed being able to have that everywhere if she was struggling to fall asleep, because she is in the 4-month sleep regression. We knew that we'd be able to get her to sleep in that, so we actually did use that a couple times while we were out to get her to sleep, as well as while we were walking through the airport and on both flights, and she did sleep in that. So that was definitely something that I'm happy that we invested in, and I would definitely repurchase if I had to, because it has really changed how easy it is for us to keep up with her schedule but still get to do what we want to do while we're traveling. So on our most recent trip to Denver, we decided that we were going to bring her with us, and we chose to do that because why not? One of the things that we were a little bit worried about on this trip was the time difference and keeping her to her schedule with everything that we had on our itinerary and what we wanted to do. I would say the most important thing for us was just keeping her to her schedule and making sure that we were checking in when she might need a nap. We tried to get her to either nap in the car, in the stroller, or in the fabric carrier that we brought with us. The carrier wrap definitely came in handy, as it's a little bit harder now for her to fall asleep since she's currently in the midst of the 4-month sleep regression. But we did a really great job of making sure that we kept up with her schedule and her feedings, just like we would have at home. And I think that that really made a difference for our experience. Some of our nights were a little bit of a struggle, but we still made it through because we were keeping her to that schedule, and we came home and she's still pretty much on her schedule and doing really well. So that definitely is something that I would recommend. We were told to keep her on East Coast time. It just kind of didn't really work out that way, so I think we all shifted a little bit, but her wake up times are still pretty flexible, so we'll see if that gets itself righted out, or maybe we'll just have a baby that goes to bed at 9 p.m. now. One of the things that I was worried about as a mom that is formula feeding her baby was how you get formula through security and what that looks like. We decided to make 4 pre-made bottles for each of our trips and put them in a backpack cooler. You can bring along water, you can bring along formula. Your bag will just be additionally screened after you go through security. We chose 4 just to make sure if something went wrong or if our plane got delayed, we had enough for her, and then bringing a little bit of extra formula and 2 already sterilized bottles as well, just in case we needed to feed her one more time, or if we decided to stay out after we landed, things like that. But it's really easy to do. They're super calm about it. They just grab your bag and say, do you have formula in here? And you say yes, and then they just have to scan everything real quick, and it's honestly pretty simple and doesn't add that much time to your trip. Some of our gear is a lot bigger and not easy to travel with, but just makes life more convenient. We use the Baby Brezza formula dispenser, and we also have a baby bouncer seat that we use all the time while we're cooking or just hanging out around the house. So we actually rented both of those items from Baby Clip so that they would be available for us. In Tampa, we actually rented them so they would be delivered directly to the hotel, which was really nice. And then in Denver, we just picked them up from the rental person's house and returned it there as well, which made things super simple and just makes it more convenient and makes it feel a little bit more like home while you're traveling. I think it's also just easy for us as formula feeders to be able to feed her on demand and be able to make those bottles really quickly.
On our first trip to Tampa, we called the hotel and they added a pack and play crib to our room that's free of charge, and most hotels will offer that service. For Denver, we have a very packable travel pack and play, which we were able to carry on and gate check on our flight to Denver. If you like to travel, I recommend not buying the bulky at-home versions and buy the travel versions of the crib, stroller, because they're pretty much the same and allow you the option to just pack it up and go wherever.
It's also really easy then to make your baby comfortable with those items before you travel. We use our stroller here, we use the crib outside when we're hanging out. It's really helpful to be able to put her in things that she's already seen and already knows and feels comfortable in.
We love to travel. It's a big part of our lives, and we weren't going to let a newborn stop us. So if that is something that you guys like, just do it. It's a little bit more stuff, it's a little bit more effort, but it's definitely worth it.
Overall, we're really excited to continue traveling with her. The stress of bringing everything together is always a lot in the beginning, but it's so much fun getting to see the world through her eyes and exploring with her and getting to introduce her to new things and new people. Our next trip is to Europe in the fall, so we feel pretty confident about that, and we're excited to see what more we can streamline from here and also what we're going to learn flying overseas with our 6-month-old.